all heard of cultural appropriation, read accusations of misappropriation on Twitter, or even debated occurrences labeled as cultural tailoring in school or with friends and family. Even though cultural appropriation is such a relevant topic, it may not be as well represented as people believe. Misappropriation is when culturally affiliated iconographies are adopted by members of a different social group in a way that is belittling, ridiculing, or generally offensive. Cultural appropriation is one of the most controversial discussions occurring within 21st century societies, and the complexity of each diverse situation makes it impossible to prescribe a single standard to be followed in cultural exchanges. The greatest problem with modern cultural allegations is not in the quantity of these instances, but instead with the quality. Contemporary media users have developed a paranoia for offensive situations, causing them to unnecessarily defend minority groups in insignificant situations. For example, in April 2019, a New York City restaurant, Lucky Lee's, was objected for claiming to serve authentic Chinese food prepared by a Caucasian staff, the same week that renowned chef Gordon Ramsay's Asian eating house in London received boycott for identical doubts of authenticity. Yet safe from social rejection are the thousands of sushi bars operated by Chinese owners and the hundreds of restaurants whose menus offer, quote, Korean tacos. Incidents labeled as acculturation are often made while completely ignoring another aspect of the issue, or, in many cases, there's no real problem at all. A coffee company located in Wisconsin's Kickapoo River Valley, named Kickapoo Coffee, was boycotted by community members who demanded the annihilation of the local Native American tribe's name, Kickapoo. Yet upon issuing a formal apology to the natives, they were reassured that the tribe had never even heard of that cafe and were entirely unoffended by the use of the name. Since it's impossible to comprehend how Victoria's Secret loses the success of their signature showcase after committing offensive acts, such as putting sexualized Native American-inspired outfits on the runway, while a football team titled the Redskins can fill a stadium with 82,000 paying fans each Sunday. It's crucial for individuals to understand the true, non-radicalized meaning of cultural appropriation. Media indulged social classes in their obsessive aversion of cultural tailoring has undermined the legitimacy of the discussion surrounding cultural interaction. To truly understand acculturation, behaviors must be analyzed for legitimacy and be employed with a basis of respect. Before citing an occurrence as offensive, an authentic evaluation of actions must first be conducted to ensure that fewer dramatized accusations are made. For example, in November 2013, Katy Perry faced backlash after performing her song Unconditionally at the American Music Awards, where her face was heavily powdered and her style represented traditional Asian custom. Haley Yook, an Asian writer for the Daily Californian, wrote an article in which she responded to Perry's incident as well as other accusations of misappropriation, stating that while we have a responsibility to listen to people of other cultures and the way they believe their culture has been exploited, Yook and her peers did not find the occurrence offensive. Why? Because Perry was not belittling their culture or portraying it in a stereotypical way as opposed to in an authentic light, and she hired Asian background dancers as opposed to having American dancers paint their faces. Yook, therefore, states that the Asian community was inappropriately defended by Western media users as if they had been victimized, defending Perry for the valid inclusion of her culture. Similarly, in 2018, a teenage girl named Keziah Dom from Salt Lake City wore a traditional Chinese dress to her senior prom, which she purchased from a vintage thrift store. Media platforms erupted with negative feedback, Twitter users creating a trending hashtag, "Culture's not your damn prom dress." Dom responded with Fox News, saying she fell in love with the dress because of the modest neckline and unique style, claiming she had no idea it carried such a high cultural significance or that it would cause such an outcry. She said that she understands where the critics are coming from, but she does not agree, assuring people that she has a great appreciation for the Chinese culture. Many responding articles, similar to Yook's, arose to defend the teen's dress. Hundreds of members of the Asian community took to media to agree that as the dress was not sexualized or altered to be provocative in any way, instead remaining untailored in the traditional fashion, it could not be seen as an offense as it was associated with no derogatory behavior or mockery. Occurrences of misappropriation allegations that are made only to be dismissed by the falsely victimized social group are numerous. Hundreds of restaurants, fashion brands, artists, and musicians are rejected for their alleged misappropriations despite appropriately preserving the culture's characteristics. The prominence of social activism in the 21st century has caused an amplitude of invalid claims of acculturation, a conflict that further diminishes power from non-dominant social groups while compromising the significance of legitimate cases of offensive behavior. Media users' discomfort with delicate cultural interactions cause dramatized reactions which hinder any potential benefits of discussing cultural preservation in the first place. For the sake of positive, beneficial cultural diffusion, media users must put a greater focus on cultural appreciation. Instead of approaching diverse situations with an eagerness to attempt to fix a problem, situational behaviors should be monitored to accurately determine if equality is flourishing. To precisely confront cultural appropriation, individuals must develop standards of harmless behavior which can be employed in positive cultural interactions for the sake of successfully and continually dispersing international diversity.